Okay, video number 30. We are rolling into the last handful of videos here. I hope you guys are still with me. I know this is hardcore. So here we go. When you go to the state, we've already gone over this some. We're going to go over it again because it's the whole point here. When you go to the state and get a title for your home or for your vehicle, you are gifting that item to the state in exchange for the title. Okay? So it's a certificate of title. Okay? Now remember, let's clear up certificate. I don't know if I did earlier. I know I've talked about it, but I don't know if we've actually looked it up. I'm a citizen. Interesting. Don't you want to live a life where you could be a citizen? Don't you want to live a life where you could be one? Don't you want to live a life where you could be a citizen? Don't you want to live a life where you could be one? Oh, I just dream of the day when I could be a citizen. Oh, I just dream of the day when I could be. I just dream of the day when I could be a citizen and you and I could wasp the day away. Certificate. Now, one of the definitions of certificate is a warrant. This is page 361. I think the definition of warrant is really interesting. Warrant. Whipping. A mode of punishment by the infliction of stripes, usually used in England and in a few of the American states. Boy, when I was growing up, I got me some whippings in Indiana. I got some real good whippings. Let's see here. Fuck. Oh, I just get so lost in the glory. And this dictionary is just, I mean, it's like wandering around in this glorious forest and just finding diamonds in these little pouches everywhere. It's like a video game. It's like Zelda. Emeralds and rubies and shit just everywhere. Warrant. Don't you want a whipping? I just want to take off my belt and give you a whipping. Don't you want a whipping? Oh, it's so fun. I could give you a whipping. All right. Warrant. So a warranty deed, you've probably heard that before, a promise that a proposition of fact is true. A warranty deed is basically a piece of paper that promises that there's a deed somewhere else. We're going to get into deeds later when we talk about the... oh, my God. When we talk about the allodial title. Warrant. Some of the most interesting things are the last part of this course because it's the last thing that I had learned before putting all this together. And I'm still in the process of learning a lot of things. It's just, at this point in time, I'm just going to make one video about each of the points I've learned so far, and then I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably just maybe send out, hopefully you're signed up to the actual email list on this and you're getting my daily emails on the free course. Because if not, and you just got this video because someone sent it to you and you're not signed up for the course itself on my email list, You're not going to get any of the podcast updates. I'm going to be doing 48 different podcasts here over the next year, at least. And then also you're not going to get any updates or any additional videos I might release. You're not going to get any breakdowns of any conditional acceptance videos that I might release. You're not going to get anything. So if you would like to be on those lists, make sure that, because all these videos are downloadable, so people might download them and share the downloaded versions. If you're getting the downloaded versions, be sure to go to the greatest website in the world, onestupidfuck.com, which is my website, and sign up for the free course or somehow get onto the email list. That way you can get all of the updates and all of the trash that I'll be sending into your email, okay? So, warrant. This is the one that people usually think of when they hear the word a writ or a precept from a competent authority in pursuance of law directing the doing of an act and addressed to an officer or a person competent to do the act and affording him protection from damage if he does it. I think I just wanted to show you warranty deed, because we're talking about deeds. So I promise that a fact or proposition is true. Where are we at? Certificate. A written assurance or official representation that some act has or has not been done, or some event occurred, or some legal formality has been complied with. So if you gifted your original MCO or MSO or original title to the state, the original deed to your home had it was a land patent. Probably before you even bought it, it had a land patent, and that's how you do the allodial title, which we're going to get into later. You gifted them the title. They gave you a certificate of title, which means that piece of paper, the certificate of title, is evidence of the fact that you gifted them the real title. It's not a real title. That's why you have to pay for registration. That's why they can give you tickets. That's why they can give you parking tickets, because they actually the state owns your vehicle. And as far as I know, it's not the de jure state that owns your vehicle. It's state of California, these incorporated sub-incorporation of United States that owns your vehicle. So the United States, like we talked about before, it's right here. They have the bankruptcy, right? So what they did is they pledged all of our shit without us knowing. So state of California owns your vehicle, and then United States owns state of California, and then United States takes the assets of which have been pledged by the citizens of state of California, and they've put those assets up against the bankruptcy to comply with the bankruptcy, right? And that's how the bankers and the people behind the curtain have literally gained control of and own everything. They own your car, they own your house, they own your bank account, because your bank account is filed under a U.S. person and you didn't sign it correctly. So yeah, every single thing on the whole planet, everything that you own is all owned by the bankers. And that's why in Canada recently, they had these truckers things where the truckers were driving across the country in protest. And the government was shutting off and taking money out of their bank accounts and stuff like that. That's why, because you don't own the bank account. If you want to get more protection over your bank account, the next level up is a beneficiary account, which is where you open up a new account and you sign with, like I was teaching you, without prejudice, human name, comma, beneficiary. You sign everything like that. You tell them you are not a U.S. person. Tell them any other country. Tell them Taiwan. Say, I'm not a U.S. person. I'm from Taiwan. I live in Taiwan. And then have it be a non-U.S. person. Sign it as a non-U.S. person. Have them give you different paperwork. That's not U.S. person paperwork, but it's non-U.S. person paperwork. And when they ask for identification and they plug your identification into the computer, use your passport number. You should be using your passport for everything under the sun, moon, and stars, all identification purposes. But specifically for banking, once you get your passport, you can go to a bank that you've never banked with before. You can open up a new account. You can do beneficiary signature. You can do non-U.S. person, and then you can use your passport for identification purposes. That will protect your bank account big time. Now, if you want to go even higher than that on the scale of protection, you want to do a private, pure contract trust, like we went over before. And what you do is once you open the trust up, then you go to the IRS website, you apply for an EIN number for the trust. You take the trust paperwork and the EIN number into a bank that you've never banked with before. You sign using, if you're going to be the trustee and you're going to set it up as you're the trustee, you're going to sign with a trustee signature. If you're going to be the beneficiary and someone else is going to be the trustee, you're going to sign with the beneficiary signature, or the trustee is going to sign with the trustee signature, depending on who's opening the account or whatever. And then under your own personal part of the account, of your bank account, you're going to be non-U.S. persons. The trustee is going to be a non-U.S. person, and then the beneficiary, if a lot of times they don't even ask for the beneficiary information, so never mind on all of that. But the trustee is going to be a non-U.S. person, and the trustee is going to be identifying themselves with a passport. Now, if you do all that, boy, your money is completely, utterly untouchable. I mean, you couldn't even get sued. They probably wouldn't even be able to pierce the veil on that under any circumstance at all whatsoever. I mean, that is complete, utter asset protection above and beyond any asset protection specialist or lawyer or accountant. It's to do what I just said would be way beyond what you would pay someone 30 grand or 40 grand or 50 grand to set up for you. I doubt there's even very many people who even know about all of this information to be able to even set this up that far in advance, into an advanced state. I mean, you are completely untouchable by every single government agency. The only way they'd be able to get into an account that strong is if you literally just gave them the money. There's no fucking way. So, could they somehow levy the account or lien the account or something? I doubt it, but even if they did, it would just, all it would do would just be like a little tag that would just sit on the account. It would never actually, they'd never actually get any money out of it. Again, you would have to willingly give them the money out of an account like that. There's no way they could force their way into it. It's just impossible. So, huge side note. But basically, so the way that, let's say for example, you want to, oh fuck my ass. Is this actually the Allodial title one? This might actually be the Allodial title one. I thought I had a whole separate one just for the Allodial title. Oh my God. Okay. So never mind. Let let me see here. 34, 35 is the male. And then 36 is contracts. Holy shit. So we are going to go into the allodial title here. Wow. Okay. I mean, this is so much information, even I get lost. It's my information. Okay. So let's get into the allodial title. And the MCO. So let me finish what I was thinking. So the MCO or the MSO, what you do is when you let's see here, a written assurance or official representation that some act has or has not been done or some event occurred. Okay. So when you buy a new car and they say, it's an extra $200 for license and registration, sir. At that point, you're gifting the MCO or the MSO, the original actual title, over to the state in exchange for license and registration. Okay. Now what you want to do is you buy a brand new car. You just tell the guy, no, I don't need license and registration. I'm going to be shipping the vehicle to a foreign country. And if they ask you what country, you just say like Taiwan or something. Because Taiwan is one of those Hague or non-Hague. I forget. There's like a Hague, non-Hague thing. I forget exactly what it means. But I usually just say Taiwan to everything. So what's happening is that you are... This is a little bit complicated. So let me... Citizen... 3/4... This is going to take me a moment to find this. I believe any company that has more than 3/4 of the board of directors is U.S. citizens, then the company itself is considered a U.S. citizen by law. Let's see here. This is important. Aha! God damn, I'm so happy I just write all this shit randomly all over the place. This is so nice. I knew one day I would come through here and organize all this. So, 14 Code of Federal Regulations, Section 47.2, okay? This is really important. This is Section 3. A corporation or association organized under the laws of the United States or a state, capital letters, the District of Columbia or a territory or possession of the United States of which the president and at least 2/3 of the board of directors and other managing officers are citizens of the United States, which is under the actual control of citizens of the United States, and in which at least 75% of the voting interest is owned or controlled by persons that are citizens of the United States, are legally citizens of the United States themselves. So citizen of the United States means a partnership, each of whose partners is an individual who is a citizen of the United States, or a corporation or association organized. So earlier we went over public versus private. So in the public sector, which would be your LLCs, your C Corps, your S Corps, all that kind of stuff. Anything in the public sector where the president and at least 2/3 of the board of directors and other managing officers are citizens means that the actual corporation itself is legally a citizen of the United States. I know that's really weird and strange, but I wanted to cover that at some point. It's so important. Your actual business is owned by the federal government because it's a citizen of the United States in itself, right? So you don't own your business. You don't own your car. You don't own your bank account. You don't own anything. I mean, when you register your firearm, I imagine you probably don't own it. I don't know. I could be wrong. I would assume you don't own it. You basically don't own anything. And you think you do, but you don't. And that's kind of how it works, right? So the way that you get the way that you truly own your business is you take it private. Like I said before, with a PMA or a trust, you move all the assets over and you just liquidate or bankrupt the whole thing, get rid of it, right? You can get rid of all your debt that way. Again, of all the services that I would like to do, the idea of taking some fucking massive company and privatizing the whole fucking thing, that would be super dope. I mean, I would charge some astronomical amount of money to do something like that. There's probably hardly anybody in the whole planet that can even offer a service like that. I'm one of very few, like a handful of people on the entire planet that could do it. I would charge an outrageous sum of money, but my God, total freedom and your revenues and everything. I could even help you build in like really amazing like sales and marketing systems. That's another area that I specialize in. I used to do it. I still do it. That's where I make all my money really now. That's what my first book is based off of. Don't be a slave to your clients, break your chains and regain your sanity. That's my entire marketing and sales systems that I implement into everything that I do, including my own company, the landscaping company. So I would come in and fully privatize the company, create all new structures, move the assets over, get everything legally situated, write up and type up all the documents, all the affidavits, get everything sent, get everything organized, disconnect everyone from all of these contracts, help everybody file their passports, get all their passports squared away, revocations of elections as needed squared away. And then I would also help implement marketing and sales systems into the company. Yeah, I mean, that's just outrageously insane how much power you could take a $100 million company that's, at a 20% profit margin, and you could turn it into a $400 million company at 60% profit margin in like 10 seconds, doing that. So, I do love doing free shit. My ideal lifestyle, honestly, would be to have maybe one huge monster contract per year where I'm charging, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100 million. And I just worked my ass off for like 1 year, and then I'm just working for free basically all the rest of the time. I would go and do seminars for free in person. I would do lots of podcasts for free in person. I would answer a lot of people's questions online and try to kind of help people a little bit more on the free end in person, stuff like that. That's kind of how I think I see my future. Obviously, if any of the money comes from my trust at any point in time for all of the services that I'm currently trying to sell via other people's trust accounts and stuff like that, if any of that money ever comes in, that's an outrageous sums of money. So that's kind of where I see my future. I don't really see myself doing kind of one-on-one passports and like just one person here, one person there. I would much rather involve myself into large groups of people and help educate entire, let's say there's a company that has 20,000 employees and they want to privatize the whole operation. I would go through and help all of the employees file WABENs. I would help them file revocations of election. I would help them get their passports, help all of the board of directors get their passports, fully privatize the whole thing, get rid of the entire payroll sector, massive downsizing in all treasury areas because you don't need all these bookkeepers and all these treasury personnel. You don't need tons of legal personnel. You can get rid of tons and tons of legal personnel, lawyers, accountants. You can get rid of all the accountants. When you privatize, you don't need any of this stuff. So privatizing is God. It's. I mean, you could probably slice like 30% of your entire overhead, 40% of your entire overhead by privatizing. I mean, outrageous sums of money. Outrageous sums of money. So if you want to privatize, if you know anyone that would want to privatize, let's say for example, someone refers me to somebody else and they help set up a meeting between me and somebody else, and we wind up doing a deal. And the deal's like, let's say, $20 million for me to do a deal, privatize a company. I'd be more than happy to pay a 10% referral finder's fee on that. That would be, so $20 million, that would be a $2 million referral fee in cash. I'd be more than happy to do that. So, I don't really know exactly where I'm going to go with all this yet. But that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. And then I would do that, and I would have just kind of one big, huge monster gig, or a couple big, huge monster gigs. And then everything else would just be free all over the place. That's what I would like to do. We'll see what actually happens. So getting back to this, when you're buying a car, you tell the guys, no, I don't need license registration. I'm going to be shipping the vehicle to Taiwan. At that point, they'll give you an MCO or an MSO. And then because the car dealership is a corporation, because it's as per 14 CFR, section 47.2, because it's considered a citizen of the United States in itself, the property of the car dealership itself is considered property of, and probably even legally considered, the District of Columbia, or State of California, which is the District of Columbia. So once you take your car, your brand new car that you just got the MCO for, and you drive it off of the lot onto the street, you've now just driven that vehicle out of the District of Columbia back into the landmass known as the de jure sector of California. And now you have your MSO, and now you're on the land, and now you fully own your vehicle. You cannot plate your vehicle. You cannot register your vehicle in that condition. You would just get some plate made up at some sign shop or something like that. You can get on David Straight's website, which is app.statenational.us. If you go to this is the Freedom People. This is the PMAs, the Public Membership Associations. Services.thefreedompeople.org/PMA. I went over this in a previous video, but I couldn't quickly find it. This is bring your business out of the clutches of the public corporations and into the private. So they can help you with the PMAs as well. I can help you with the PMAs. That's something I want to do. So I wanted to bring that up, and then I need to still find this that I was telling you about. Here it is. So this is the store, and if you go down in the store, you can find stickers and shirts and okay. A handful of days ago when I checked this, here it is. A 12 by 6 automobile plate made out of aluminum, and a 7 by 4 motorcycle golf cart UTV plate made out of aluminum. The car plates, you're going to get them. It's going to look like this. And then you just take it to a sign shop, and you can write in here, whatever you want. Without prejudice, 1-308. Without prejudice, UCC 1-308, and then underneath that you can put. I don't know if anybody's talked about this actually. Now that I think about it, you know what I would do? Fuck, I'm gonna do this. I just decided I'm doing this. Boy. This is what I would do. Oh my Lord. I would do this. Oh my God, this is so sexy. I am getting the fattest, veiniest Snickers bar hard on you've ever seen. So this would be the plate, American State National, statenational.us, right, with the eagle. Dope ass shit. Now I'd put on here, I'd go to a sign shop and I would have 3 lines here. 1, 2, 3. And I would put, the first line would be 18 USC 1545, which is whoever violates any state of conduct or passport duly obtained and issued under authority of the United States shall be fined under this title and imprisoned not more than 10 fucking years or both. I would put 18 USC section 242 would be the second line on it. So 18 USC, and then I would do the gay ass like fucking S circle S section sign thing. So I would do the first line would be the big boy, which is 18 USC 1545. So it would be in big fucking fat ass letters, 18 USC section sign 1545, then 18 USC section sign 242, and then 18 USC section sign 241. Boom. Oh my God, that is fucking genius, dude. That is fucking genius. I am totally going to do that. Oh. So once you get your MCO, that's what you do. Put that shit right on here. Go to a sign shop. So you buy this fucking thing for $20 plus $5 shipping and handling, or something similar to it, or have one made that looks kind of like this, I guess. Take it to a sign shop. Pay them $50 or $100 or whatever it's going to be to have all that crazy ass cool shit, those United States Code sections put on there, and then just drill that fucker onto the back of your car and carry around your MCO. Oh my God. That is, you are at that point, because we're in this thing, we're going to be going over the different areas of jurisdiction. Oh my God. If you do that and you have your passport, dude, you can't even get parking tickets. You literally can't get parking tickets. They can't tow your car. They literally can't do fucking anything. They can't open your hood. They literally can't even like practically touch your vehicle. They don't have any jurisdiction at all whatsoever. Nobody does. Like, you could be driving around. I mean, to be honest with you, you could be driving around drunk as fuck at like 190 miles an hour. They can't do shit. Now, if you damage people's property, or you slam into somebody, or you scratch someone else's car, or even the tiniest little thing, even the tiniest little damage to somebody else's property, and you no longer have any diplomatic immunity. That's where the diplomatic immunity ends, where other people's lives and objects begin. So that is a breakdown of how to get out of the jurisdiction of how to buy a new car. Now, if you already have a car and you would like to do the same process, you have to go through a salvaging. So I don't really know how all this works. I'm probably going to do this process on my car because I have a used car that I love very, very much. I don't really want any other car on the planet because I'm madly in love with my car. I have a Shelby GT500 that I just love. I've done a lot of fucking work to it. It's got like 800 horsepower. It's a lot of fun. In my car, what I'm probably going to do is once you salvage the vehicle, you're going to get a new MCO, right? I learned this from David Straight. So he talks about salvaging your vehicle, having some mechanic just lie and say that the vehicle is salvaged in order to get a salvage title MCO delivered to you, not delivered to the state, delivered to you as an individual. That's basically like getting a brand new MCO. And then once you get that brand new MCO, your car is completely ejected from their systems. And then at that point, you can go out and get this thing and put the 18 USC 1545, 18 USC 242, 18 USC 241 on here, right? Now, again, you might still get fucked with. You might still get pulled over. You just tell the officers, here's my passport. I don't answer any questions. Oh, well, blankety blank. Here's my passport. I don't answer any questions. It's that simple, right? And you can have a little piece of paper that says, as my license plate state. This is fucking genius. This is so much simpler than a lot of other shit, like right to travel binders and what are you going to do with the whole binder? I thought about that. It's like the reason why I haven't printed all that shit off and put it in my car. It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with a whole binder with this shit? Now listen to this, ultra simplified. Let's say, and this is all just shit I'm thinking up as we're going through this video, because you guys are really sparking my creative thought here big time, right? So on the license plate, it'll say 18 USC 1545, 18 USC 242, 18 USC 241, I believe are the three 18 USC 1545. Yeah. Now you're going to have a little piece of paper or even a card that you're going to give the officer with the passport. When you, this is so genius. All it has on the card, it has literally no information at all whatsoever, except it says 18 USC 1545 and it's bold like this, and then underneath it has the quote, and then underneath that is 18 USC 242, and then it has the quote here, and then it has 18 USC 241 and it has the quote, and that's it. That's it. You just give them the card, and you just give them the passport like this. And then you don't say a word. And then they say, ask you questions and how fast are you driving? And I don't answer questions, officer. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, officer, but I don't answer any questions. I'm really sorry, officer. I don't answer any questions, and if they really, really give you a hard time, you can be like, you could ask them a question, is there some kind of, idea, or there's some kind of thought in your mind that makes you believe or makes you think that I do not have the right to not answer any of your questions. You could ask it. You could say, I don't answer questions in the form of a question, right? Another question you could ask them is after they receive the card with these different USC subsections on them, you can ask them, did you read and understand the card that I gave you with 18 USC 1545, 18 USC 242, and 18 USC 241? And then they say yes or no. Do you have any questions as regard to my rights? Would be the question, right? And again, you can write all this down if you want to. I'm just thinking of all this just live on this video. That would be, again, you don't want to get hostile because they'll just fucking beat the shit out of you. There's nothing stopping them. I'm not trying to teach you how to be a dick. I'm trying to teach you how to preserve your human rights. Okay? Now, if you do all of this and you get your MCO or your salvage title and you put that license plate on there and you put those three things on there and you make that little card, you should be rock solid. You really shouldn't need anything else. If you want to get the right to travel binder and you want to put it in your car somewhere and just stick it in there for good use, you can. But to me, this is now seeming like a very, very simple, easy to understand, easy to deliver system that allows you to reserve all of your rights. If you also want to, you can also do like without prejudice up top. Without prejudice, UCC 1-308 would be the first line. Second line would be 18 USC section sign 1545, 18 USC 242, 18 USC 241. So it would be 4 lines. That might be a really good thing too. And then on the little card. The top of the card would be UCC 1-308. So you would put UCC section 1-308, and you would put this text in there from A, and you'd put all that, and then in quotes, right? And then you'd have the second line on the little card would be 18 USC 1545. And then I like to put section 242 first, because that's involving if it's just one person. And then 241 is involving if it's more than one person. So I like to put 242 first and then 241 second on everything that I do. So that's what I would do on the little card, and then just hand them the little card. Or you could even have on the top of the little card, I really respect what you do. I don't want to cause a scene or create any sort of animosity between us, but I do fully reserve my rights. And I am fully activating and fully cognizant of my rights as per : and then you would list those 4 things. And you're not trying to create contention, dishonor. You're not trying to create anything. You're just like, dude, you don't have jurisdiction. You know it. Let's just all go home to our families. Okay. So that's what I would do. That's how you fully gain control of your rights, your traveling rights. That's how you fully gain control of your car and own your car. So we've gone over how to own your bank account. We've gone over how to own your car. Now we're going to go over how to own your property. Okay. I didn't realize I was going to get into all this here. Okay. So, allodial title. So, allodial title constitutes ownership of real property, land, buildings, and fixtures that is independent of any superior landlord. Okay? Allodial title is related to the concept of land held in allodium, or land ownership by occupancy and defense of the land. Okay, so how to get there's not a lot of information you can find on the internet about absolutely anything in this course, hardly at all, which is what's going to make this course so fucking cool for a lot of people seeing it. This particular point regarding the allodial title, you actually can find quite a lot of information about it. So this is one area that I'm probably not going to get into too much, just because there is plenty of information available on the internet. Just type in how to get an allodial title on your property. You're going to get, you're going to obtain the warranty deed, the quitclaim deed, or any other shitty deed that doesn't mean you own the property at all. You're going to need certified copies of your proof of documents from the county's clerk's office and the county in which you're going to go to. Put your land description of your property in land patent format, acquire a copy of the land patent for your land, and then you're going to fill out a declaration of acceptance of land patent. You're taking a very old land patent that was originally signed by the President of the United States at that time, and you're moving it up to present time, and you're putting your name on it and then refiling it in. File a public notice. File your land patent, post a certified copy of your document at the county courthouse. Probably a 2 to 4 month process with a lot of waiting in between each action, so it's probably not very much actual work. Boy, allodial title, you won't need permits anymore. You could build a fucking 90-story skyscraper on your shit, bro, if you wanted to. Cops can't come on your property without written approval from you. You basically legally have your own country at that point, an allodial title. Now, what I would do, once you get your allodial title, what I would do is I would sell the allodial title into a pure contract trust for 25 pieces of silver. Just write it up on a piece of paper. Put it in your trust for 25 pieces of silver. Now you have the allodial title, which is a superior title, which is like God. God owns the land like it should be. And then, and no county has any jurisdiction, no property tax, county property tax assessor's office. They have no right to come near your property at all. You could probably literally shoot someone in the head if they came on your property, if you had an allodial title, and I don't even know how they would prosecute you. Now, if someone else was literally standing at the very edge of your property, but they weren't on your property and you shot them, that would be very bad. But if they walked onto your property full blown and their entire body was located in the metes and bounds of your land patent and you shot them in the fucking head, I literally don't know if you could even get prosecuted. That's how strong an allodial title is. I don't know the answer to the question though. So this is a theory area. I don't know exactly how far it goes, but I'm pretty damn sure it's your country, man. And what I would do if you want to set up an allodial title and you want to sell it into your trust for 25 pieces of silver or gold, what I would do is post at the beginning of your property some kind of like a sign. Ideally, it would be something like maybe like a pillar, and then it would be like a brass sign at the front of your property that says, again, I don't like to be combative. I don't think any of this is about being combative. I would say, hey, this is an allodial property that is legally considered a separate country, and no one has the right to step onto this property without written approval by so-and-so person or whatever. And you can put like a phone number there or something if you would like to receive something, or you could put some kind of like a public notice at the front of the property, because the problem is that if you don't have a public notice and people don't know that it's an allodial property and they walk onto your property, I just don't know how that would affect, like, if you did do something to them. There was no public notice, so how would they know that you had an allodial property, and then now something bad happened, or a fight broke out, or you shot somebody, or something happened, and then now it's like, would you really have the full rights of your? I don't know. I don't know any of these answers to any of these questions. So my point is, the allodial title, once you put it in the trust, it's basically owned by God, and they can't say shit. And you can do whatever you want on your property. Absolutely anything you want. The allodial title, I'm sure there's probably some cons to it. I'm sure you probably couldn't get like a mortgage on an allodial title. I'm sure you probably couldn't refinance an allodial title property. I don't know how all of that I don't know why you'd want to, but I'm just saying, like, just in full disclosure, I don't really know how all the ins and outs of an allodial title and how it breaks everything down. What I love to do one, like, for example, if somebody called me watching these videos and they're like, hey, I got this big ass company, I want to privatize the whole thing, I want an allodial title for my home, and I want to do my passports from my whole family and myself and my revocation of election, and I want to privatize my whole fucking life. That would be so dope. I would love to do something like that. That would be so cool. I would love that. If you know someone that would like to do something like that, please have them contact me or contact me. I would love to go through and do one of these for somebody at some point in time. I don't own land. I may own land at some point in time. I'm not like dying to own some land. I'm pretty happy where I'm at. I don't, even if I got $100 million tomorrow, frankly, if I had $100 million tomorrow, I would probably just spend like $10,000 a day on paid advertising to give away this free course for free in more areas of the internet. And maybe I would start printing up flyers and mailing them to people's houses and stuff like that. That's, frankly, just to be totally honest, it's probably what I would do. The only other thing that I would like to do if I had shitloads of money right now, I have quite a bit of money, but not anything like hundreds of millions of dollars. If I had, millions and millions of dollars, I definitely do want to build a Myers-Manx dune buggy. I can call it like the Freedom Mobile or something like that, and maybe paint it with a civil peace flag and put a 2.5 liter Subaru WRX STI Boxster motor in it. Fucking 300 horsepower, hauling serious ass. I would love that. I've been wanting one of those for a long time. So besides that, I don't know. If I had, like I said, I like working for free. I like being the trustee. I just don't like, I'm not working for free because I owe anybody anything. I'm working for free because I want to see a better America. I want to help people. I want to assist people. A lot of people are scared about what's going on in the world right now. A lot of people are scared about the government, about the future, about the inflation. I want to create the du jour America, and I want to help push the Great Awakening through education and through telling people what their contracts are, where they're contracted, what they should know, what they shouldn't know, so that they can make the best decisions given for their life. I know for a fact, if everybody watching these videos just simply has all of the real information so that they can make a decision for themselves, I'm not telling anybody nothing how to live their life. But if I just give everybody all the information so that they can make an educated decision for themselves, I believe that's how we're going to create the du jour America. That's how I feel about it. And I feel about if I do this and I give this shit away for free and I make it as consumable and as fun and as confrontable as possible, I feel like I'm doing a huge service to God as the trustee. I'm the beneficiary, God's the trustee, but then turn around and I'm the trustee for benefiting all of you guys and everybody else that I possibly can. It makes me feel good. So that's kind of where I'm at with all of this. So I don't have an allodial title. I don't have a piece of property at this exact moment in time. That could change tomorrow. But if you do have an allodial title, I'm pretty sure there are different things you should know about it that I don't know about. Another thing about having an allodial title is I assume it would jack the value of your property up quite a lot, because as people learn more and more about what an allodial title is and what benefits there are to it, more and more people are going to be willing to pay quite a large premium to acquire a property that has one. Okay. So it's not a lot of work to increase your property value, probably more than absolutely anything else you could possibly do with your property. An allodial title is a superior title. It's as superior as it gets. So that's all I'm going to talk about the allodial title, just because, like I said, I'm sure you can even go on YouTube and type in to get an allodial title. There's probably a lot of bullshit on this too, of people trying to put up dumbass shit that say that it's bad or illegal or you shouldn't do it or blah, 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 blah. But just ignore all that. That's all just hit piece bullshit of, all the people who make money, all the banks that make money based off of your warranty deed. They don't want you knowing about any of this information, just like everything else. So they're going to go online and post fucking God knows what bullshit, or pay these little tiny fucking bullshit YouTube channels or who knows what, $10,000 to go and put up some horse shit video. Just keep that in mind. It is real. It is there. You can't access it. Don't listen to the bullshit. Okay. Okay, so now we've gone through how to own your vehicle, how to get out of the jurisdiction of everything with your vehicle, how to own your bank account. Now we've gone over how to own your property. Okay? You should sell your car into a trust for 25 pieces of silver as well. You could do a notarized bill of sale. You don't need to involve the state at all in any of these transactions. You never go back to the DMV. You never go back to the title company. You never go back to the county. They don't have anything to do with you or your life at all whatsoever. Now you no longer pay any property taxes either, obviously, because you only pay property taxes because you're contracted into the county. You just don't know it. So once you get the allodial title and once you sell the property into the trust for 25 pieces of silver, you no longer are contracted into the county. They can't come and assess anything. They can't step foot on your property, your meets and bounds on your land patent without your written approval. And if they do, I'm sure it's probably a trespassing charge. You could lien them. Probably all sorts of horrific things could be done to them. So there you go. So when you're contracted into the county legally, again, just like everything else, they deliver services to you. So the way that all the government organizations think is that they have these statutes and these codes, and by putting everyone in an area, all of their properties into these codes, and by structuring everything for the area, they're doing them a service. And by putting all this stuff together and policing it all, they're doing us all a service. Is that true? As much as I love freedom, as much as I want freedom for you guys, that's not the craziest idea in the world. It's like certain noise ordinances, or your house can't have the siding falling off of it. Especially in more suburban type areas where all the houses look the same. You don't want a guy with garbage strung all over his yard. So there is some value in what they're delivering to some degree, and they feel like because they are delivering this, they call this a service, a public service, and in exchange, that's how they take the property taxes. Okay, so when you pull out of that system, you no longer basically, I would assume in my mind, you no longer are underneath their rules, so you can do whatever the fuck you want with your property. You no longer have to pay real estate taxes, but at the same time, you also probably wouldn't be able to call and complain about someone else's property and expect them to do anything unless you did it like anonymously or something like that. And the reason why is because you no longer have the right to use their system to your advantage, because if you call in and you file a complaint using their system, you're technically receiving a benefit from their system, so you're sort of contracting back into that system, and at that point you risk them trying to get real estate taxes from you again. So realize that when you slice these contracts, you really have to decide, like, do I want to end this contract or not fully? It's kind of an all-in or an all-out kind of thing. I don't ever recommend that you're halfway into a contract unless you completely rewrite the entire terms of the contract. So if all you want is to be able to make one complaint a year and you want to be contracted in, you would write a brand new contract that says, I'll give you, $1,000 a year in exchange for one single complaint a year. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Like, I have no idea. I'm just saying, I wouldn't recommend being halfway in and halfway out unless you're going to be really, really specific on what the contract is and where it begins and ends. Okay. Another name, the whole system, all these contracts are all voluntary. You just never knew that. Okay. Another name for an allodial title is called a fee simple title. Okay. That's another name for it. Let me think if there's anything else we should talk about in this video. I imagine if you have registered firearms and all this kind of stuff, you once you change your status and once you do everything and once you do all your stuff, you probably should find a way to unregister them. I don't really know how that would work exactly, but just remember, like, register is not good. That's pretty much how they can take your firearms. They own them to some degree. You're kind of gifting them to them. How would all that work? I don't know. Get an 80% lower, and then drill it out and build the guns yourself at home. For a rifle and for a pistol, just buy the parts and build the gun. It takes like an hour and a half. There's videos on YouTube on how to put the gun together. You just buy all the parts individually. You could do that. I don't know. That's something that maybe, again, I hope that a lot of people watch these videos and go out and figure all this shit out and talk about it. Because, there's a bunch of people that have already taken a bunch of the stuff that I've done just from the website, not even these videos. I haven't even done the videos yet. And they're already running off and doing all sorts of shit. And there's been a whole bunch of things on these videos that I've learned from other people who have read my shit on my website and then run out and fucking learned all this other shit. So I'm hoping, I release this free course. It starts to go viral pretty rapidly, and then within maybe a year or so, we're going to have a whole new dawn, a whole new du jour world, because maybe not a year, but very rapidly, because I would like to see a lot of people really, really curious, finding out all this stuff and tearing it all apart. And then you have a whole website just for Allodial titles, and they break it all down, and they have a free course or a bunch of information and stuff. I mean, that would be really cool, super ideal in my head, in my world. I would love to see that. So yeah, I think that's how we're going to do for video number 30. I'm going to end it here, and I will see you guys on video number 31. Bye-bye.